The Liberty, they did not get off to a good start in the 2023 WNBA Finals as they fell to the Las Vegas Aces 99-82 in Sin City on Sunday. So let's break down what went wrong for New York and what they need to do in order to right the ship. We're going to discuss with WNBA journalist and founder of Black Rosie Media, Erica Ayala, who joins us from Las Vegas. Erica, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well here. I'm at Michelob Ultra Arena. As you mentioned, we just finished up game one. The New York Liberty, as you mentioned, did fall, but I think that the team is in good spirits right now, Dexter. They know that this is a series, and that's really all that matters. But to your point, there are definitely some things that they want to clean up.
Yeah, definitely some things they want to clean up, especially after how things went in the second half. And Erica, this was a game that was a tale of two halves. Before this series, I had actually discussed that Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello used her bench sparingly during the playoffs. Well, on Sunday, she went to her bench earlier than I think most people expected, got a spark from Marine Johannes, scored 14 points in 11 minutes. Should the Liberty utilize their bench more going forward in the series?
Well, Sandy Brondello will be the first person to say that, yes, she probably does need to go to her bench. And she was talking about Marine Johannes in particular. So I liked, though, that Sandy Brondello got Marine Johannes in particular in the game early. She was the first player off the bench and was able to get 14 points and just dazzling even a less than neutral crowd at Michelob Ultra Arena with her three-point shooting. That being said, we know that the Liberty have gotten a lot of key performances from players like Betnijah Laney, even from Sabrina Ionescu, especially from the arc, and that didn't quite happen. So while it was great that they got Marine Johannes involved, they still do need a little bit more from that starting five.
Yeah, they're going to need some more from the starting five, who had a bit of struggles today in New York. They did have a three-point lead at halftime, Erica, but in the second half, things didn't go so well. Defensively, the Liberty, they could not contain the Aces guards, as both Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young, they scored a game-high 26 points. What does New York need to do in order to slow down Vegas's backcourt players? Is there something they can do to change things there?
We were able to speak to Courtney Vandersloot outside of the locker room just after the game, and she felt that was exactly the difference. You mentioned a tale of two halves, and there were some assignments that were blown, according to Courtney Vandersloot, and just the composure that sometimes comes when you're not doing things the way that you want to execute them. Courtney Vandersloot felt that there were just wrinkles. She said about 5 minutes. She wanted to look back at the film, but Courtney Vandersloot, the guard for the New York Liberty, of course, felt that there was just about a 5-minute lapse and that it wasn't a complete 40-minute game. And that's what the New York Liberty need to do for game two and the rest of the series, is really tighten in and focus on defense, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it needs to tighten up there. The guards really had a feast for the Aces in this one. And so that happens sometimes, Erica, just lapses where teams need to just tighten up, like you said, and we'll see if they can do that in game two. Now, going ahead to game two, we have seen the Liberty overcome some adversity during these playoffs, but now they've got to do it down 0-1 to the defending champions. What must the Liberty do in order to have a different outcome in game two?
Well, as I mentioned, Courtney Vandersloot and Marine Johannes spoke to us after the game, and they know that this is a series. They know also that Courtney Vandersloot told us that they have time. They want to look at film. They want to be focusing on the things that they did well and emphasize areas and pockets where they can make a difference. Defense, I think, is one of those things. Courtney Vandersloot also talked about having to get Betnijah Laney involved. She had 11 points. Having to get Sabrina Ionescu involved, who only had 7 points in this game. And so that's what the New York Liberty are going to look to do in the days between now and game two on Wednesday, is really look at the film, make sure that they're going back to their basics and continue doing what got them here. And another thing, just to close this out, you mentioned that they're down one game, but they were down a game in the semifinals, and they had to go up against Washington in round one. All of those things head coach Sandy Brondello has been telling us make them battle tested. And that's going to be important because this is a New York Liberty team. They have individual players who have won championships, but as Courtney Vandersloot after game one re-emphasized, they have not won together. So they got a feel. They know that it's going to be a raucous crowd. This is not just playoff basketball. This is the WNBA Finals. They got a taste, they'll readjust, and they'll be ready for game 2.
Yeah, the fans are hoping that they will be ready for game 2. Great points there, Erica, about the championship experience that players have on this roster, although they haven't won it together. And they have been tested thus far in the playoffs. We will see if that matters in game 2, which will go down on Wednesday night in Vegas. That is Erica Ayala, the great WNBA journalist, founder of Black Rosie Media. Erica, always great to talk to you and see you. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Dexter.